All right, back up here this morning. I just told the story about me flushing my microphone down, but we got it back working this morning. So.
Excellent.
How would you judge Trey Holladay up here, superintendent of city schools here in Athens? Today's a big day for you.
It's a big day for our school system, and I believe the future of Athens. Do I think if we get beat, I can guarantee you that we will have school tomorrow, and I will have a smile on my face however it goes. But I really believe it will make the difference in the future for Athens if we can make this move and keep progressing to the future.
How would you judge that this whole thing is gone? You've taken a lot of heat, Ronnie's taken a lot of heat, and it's just kind of like it's gotten out of hand.
Well, this is my 31st year working in public education, my whole life of 50 years in public education because I grew up in it. Educational politics is the worst there is because you're messing with two things of people's prized possessions: their children and their money. And that when that comes out, then people will get it at a different tone and a different level. When you're just voting for a governor or a representative or whatever, it really doesn't affect those two things. So they feel like they can't necessarily tie in, but it's tough.
With social media, it just fuels the fire.
Oh yeah, even more so.
Let's talk about what happened yesterday. State Auditor Jim Ziegler calls a last-minute news briefing on the steps of the courthouse yesterday, and then during that, a reporter. Were you at this press conference?
I was not.
Now you met with him prior.
I met with him prior. I sent him an email yesterday morning and told him I thought that I must have missed an email because I hadn't received anything that he was coming to town, and surely if he was a government official coming to check out another government agency, he was going to meet with me before he went and made these announcements, and he had all the facts.
But anyway, he goes on to say, and then some reporter, it says here, News Courier this morning, give them full credit for this, asked, do you have a permit for this? And one of the people there tried to silence the reporter from asking that question. And according to Mark Yarworld, my good friend and commission chairman, he says no permits were asked or issued for this gathering yesterday.
That's correct. They did not have a permit, or they have permission from Mark, from the county commission, to be on the courthouse square. And last Friday, we had a pep rally there, and our cheerleaders asked for permission and got a permit.
Well, they have that every year. That big in Athens won. Congratulations. Why is this guy saying that some of the stuff that the yes vote have done is illegal?
Because he has his own spin and take, and he is, since '71, when he was a student at the University of Alabama, he has always tried to be
really
controversial. He was on the PSC in the mid-'70s. He's ran 11 times unsuccessfully for office. We tried to be very open and honest and show him everything we had and why we did what we did, and Shane was there with me when we met. And the judge has spoken, 3 different attorney generals have spoken. I just don't know how much more the guy has. It was no doubt after it was all over with that he was politically stumping to try to help this group who undoubtedly felt like they needed a little push here at the end because they were behind.
When headlines like this come out, is it damage already done? Will people actually read the whole thing and want to know the facts?
I think if we would have been first, it would have done more damage like it did in Baldwin County. But whenever he's already done it 2 or 3 times and he's always, stumping in to say these things, I think that hopefully the good people recognize.
Well, to your credit, you held your own with that. I got to tell you that the paper states that too. Let's look at the rendition of the new high school that you guys are trying to get, and let's talk about why Athens people need to vote yes today to get something like this. Explain why you need this yes vote.
Well, the simplicity of, we talked last week with Gia Russell here, we have it set up where we can have industry credentials for our students when they graduate, because our facilities now won't allow us to do those things. So having that 21st century classroom is important for students. The secondary part, and I have a primary customer of students and parents, but I have a secondary customer of this community. And people ask me all the time that I need to treat it more like a business. Well, that's what we're doing. And that secondary customer asks for that statement to be made that education is important, and for us to engage the community to try to promote the community as a whole.
Right.
So that's the two focus is at students and the community.
What if people vote no today and this vote is defeated, and it has been recently in Lawrence County and I think Lauderdale, one other county in North Alabama recently? What happens to you and Athens City School System over the next couple of years if this is a no vote today?
Well, the first thing I'd say, if we vote it down, we'll be the first city school system in the state of Alabama to vote it down, the first city. Now, counties have voted it down, but that will be a shocker. But we will survive, definitely. We will, because I had to do so much research into it, there are some things that we've looked at. I haven't studied Plan B because this is what Plan A was. So we'll have to go back and sit down and pull up all the things we've studied over the past 2 years and look to see what we can and can't do, where we can cut, where we don't need to cut.
You said something I didn't know. You saying no city has voted no for their school system?
For educational tax, they have not. Auburn, let me back up and say this. Auburn voted no, and then they turned around 6 months later and voted yes. So.
Wow.
Can you come back again for a vote?
We could. I don't know that everybody's got the stomach for it. I actually had a couple of no people yesterday after our press conference said, you know, if you'd have just asked for half of this, and I told them as soon as they said it, I said, okay, if y'all beat me tomorrow, I'm going to come back and ask for half. And they said, oh, no, we're not going to. I said, I thought you just told me you would support half of it. So,
has this been what you thought it would be, or did it get?
Definitely, because the political agendas of these kids from Lauderdale County and Colbert County, and I call them kids because they've never had, I mean, they're 25, 26-year-old, and they have political activists that, you know, they're nuts about trying to get themselves a position, you know, in the future, and almost like Ziegler. I mean, they're 26, he's 76, and I think they're all pushing it way too far.
All right, let's wind this up. It's been a pleasure working with you guys the last couple of weeks. Y'all done an excellent job on pushing this yes vote. Again, in this last couple of minutes we got here, why should the 13,700 voters of Athens, Alabama vote yes today?
I think for these kids presently and for the future of this city, if we're going to maintain what we have, we're going to maintain the downtown area as being kind of a more relaxed place to live. We've got to make sure education is important. We lose the school system, we lose the city.
All right, Trey, I give you full credit. You have gone above and beyond what I thought could be done with something like this, and you deserve win or lose. You did a great job with it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure working with you.
Goes to the folks. Well, I just enjoy living in Athens and being part of Athens.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for Del Creasy. Thanks for good job on winning the other night.
Absolutely. Hey, that was a great win. This may be the least talented team, but they played like champions the other night. And I know it's just the first game, and we'll get tested this week with James Clemens, but it was great. And probably for me today, after 7 o'clock tonight, that'd be the next thing I look forward to.
We'll know what, 7:15, 7:30 tonight?
I would suspect so. I would suspect so.
Thank you again, Trey. You've done a super job on the vote yes today. Polls open in just a few minutes from right now. We'll see y'all tomorrow.